Hi.
Hello.
Okay, wow, 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 wow. Marriage, marriage, marriage. Hi, Eva.
Yes, hi. And so funny that you said, like, just before you turned on the Facebook, oh my God, I'm feeling I'm getting sick now. Like I have to throw up.
Totally, totally, because marriage brings up so
Yeah.
much. There are just tons of ladies I know at least who are like, but how can I find a guy to marry to? Where are the men to get to marry? And the how part is big, and then also the other part, like, oh, I am married. What now? It's
Mm.
not at all what I expected it to be. Or,
Good.
like all the judgments around it. It's insane. This topic, marriage, is insane. So this is why I also chose to facilitate a five-part telecall series on that starting tomorrow, by the way.
Yeah.
So let's look at that. What's your point of view about marriage, Eva?
When you started talking about marriage right now, what popped in my head was like, oh, what a job. It's like a job you're taking on. And I was like, shit. And yeah, I'm so not into marriage. Or like, oh my God, I have to get married. And it's yeah, funny point of view, like great job.
I was really a little girl.
Yeah,
And then people ask me, because I have a Turkish background as well, and marriage is a
yeah,
big thing there. So still, I would say. And when people ask me when we were in Turkey for holidays, do you want to get married one day? And would you like to have babies? And I was like, no, no, it was always a no. Marriage is not a thing because I looked around, even as a little child, like, I looked around and I was like, but nobody's happy. And happy was a big thing for me, even as a child. I was like, no one is married. Why would I get into this? There's so many possibilities,
yeah.
really. Like, there's so many possibilities. There's so many men. There's so many women. Why should I get stuck with one guy?
Don't get this concept.
I, but honestly, yes, I don't get the concept of marriage. And then years passed, and that was my point of view. And then out of the blue, I don't know, in my 30s, really out of the blue, I got married, which just lasted
Yeah,
6 months. And it
I
was
forgot.
the funniest thing in the world. And I saw the insanity of it because in the moment when you say yes to someone, you go into a completely different reality, and you get all this download of all the points of views that I never had them. But in that moment when I said that, it just what was a avalanche coming over me, and I was like, I cannot breathe anymore. I don't know what to do. I'm dying. And I was dying. So
Yeah.
the whole marriage thing for me just took 6 months, and then I was like, bye bye, I had to go. And it took me 1.5 years after that marriage to recover from it.
So much fun.
I was like, I was really happy. I was so good. My life was wonderful, amazing, right? And then that. So, but this doesn't have to be for everyone.
No,
Like,
not at all.
like we all come from different backgrounds. We all have different ideas about marriage. I was like, okay, but with my receiving from men classes over the years,
Oh.
right, there's a lot about that. And I was like, why don't we deep dive into that and look at it,
Mm.
really put the spotlight on it, marriage.
And like with receiving from men, there are so many different possibilities to have a different marriage or a different relationship. Actually, one you truly enjoy and where you can be gifting and receiving one from each other, And yeah, it's funny because it's not all about the dress and the jewelry and the party.
I just, the moment before people, if you're listening to this, the moment before we started doing this live, if I was like, yeah, let's do it, but I'm not dressed at all like for a wedding or for marriage.
I'm on a casual Monday suit here.
And I was like, is there a dress code?
Yeah.
Help! Like now let's hop on as we are, because this it's all about you being you, me being
Yeah.
me, and then we come together with a guy, with a lady, whoever we want to get married to, and see what's possible. And honestly, I see it as a like a business relationship. You know, in a
Mm.
business relationship, you wouldn't go into a new business partner
Yeah.
uh, with with pink glasses on, and everything is just like, oh, everything is so wonderful, because this changes. And when you talk to people who are married for 40 years, it's a lot of work to keep that thing going.
And it is because I mean, it's like, and you do sometimes go into still business relationships, with these pink glasses on, because you think, oh my God, everything is so exciting and we're gonna starting a new business. So, and it's also like, yeah, as with the business on different classes, your life is your business and your business is your life. So probably also your marriage is your business then, it's like, yeah, keep up the good work.
Keep up the good work. And also, when you look at it from the point of view, like when marriage started, when you
Yeah.
go into
Oh,
history,
wow. Yeah.
marriage was just there to bring two wealthy people together to don't lose the wealth, the money, the
Yeah.
land, all of that. So it had nothing to do with, oh my God, I love you, amore, amore, let's get together.
Yeah.
That was not the thing. But over the years and centuries, it became that, oh, marriage,
Romance. Yeah.
romance
Yeah.
thing, which keeps us stuck somewhere and doesn't allow us really to choose beyond it and go greater. And it's still fine if you're like, hey, I want to get married to, because that's important also for my
Yeah.
children to know where to belong to. Yeah, but we see also in all the divorces that are happening,
Mm.
like people are like, no, it's not working for me, and then they get divorced. So
Mm.
what
And
is
even
now?
divorce can be a business.
Divorce is it's a whole different topic. Let's put light on that in on a different call series, not on this one, because woohoo!
Woo! Yes.
I'm getting sick here. Wait.
Yeah.
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 So
It's yeah, actually an interesting concept in this reality, so, but what can you actually create with your lust to get married or with your already existing marriage? So what else is possible with marriage, and how can it be just so much more joyful and creating greater for both of the people in the marriage? Yeah.
that, not losing each other, not losing yourself, and that, and then see, okay, what else is possible and how will it work for you and me? What does it mean?
Yeah.
Do we live together in
Yeah.
one house? Do we do
Yeah.
everything now together? Do I have to tell you where I go, what I do all the time? And then all the judgments, because over the years you see things in the other person that you like, that you don't like, especially the
Yeah.
things that you don't like. And this becomes bigger and greater. And it can just start with putting your toothpaste in a different place than your partner does,
Yeah.
right? And then
Yeah.
in the morning, you already start waking up and you're like, "Ugh." And also, another big thing that I spoke with a friend of mine about it before. You're not just marrying, especially with marriage, you're not marrying just one person, you're marrying a
Mm.
whole family. You're marrying
Mostly.
into a
Yeah.
whole family. So
Yeah.
all the points of views about that they have about how your marriage should be.
Cool.
So what's
Yeah.
happening here?
Wow. Yes.
And for very young people, they say like, no, I will not get married to. But there also can be a gift in that.
Totally. And I do get that we are sometimes going back to this, like, as you said before, like two wealthy people getting together and, saving or trying to, I don't even know how to say that, saving their wealth, or because also you have, you know, um, I just had to think of the English word, like having tax advantages, when you're
Tax
married.
advantages. Yes, it's also important to look at that. Of course, another thing is when you're together, because also Hannes and me, we spoke about that. Because
Yeah,
right now, if Hannes would go into a hospital, and
yeah.
I would not even be allowed in a critical situation to visit him or to make any choices for him, even if I'm the person who knows him the best. Because
Mm.
law-wise, I'm not allowed to do that. So you
Mhm.
have to look at that.
Yeah. So funny. Like, I mean, tax advantages. What? That's so interesting.
I
Yeah,
think a lot of people are just getting married because of that.
totally. Yeah,
Taxes are crazy in Germany, so why not getting married and like let's have more
yeah,
money? Yeah.
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 Funny.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
Brings up so much stuff. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So cool that you picked this topic for a critical
I know
series.
it's not the easiest, but that was also the moment when I was like, okay, maybe a three-part telecall series is not enough for that, or just a
Yeah.
clarity night. So let's look deeper into it and give ourselves the space to see what's possible and what works for you. And if that's something, and every choice is just for 10 seconds. Today, I say I don't want to get married to, but on the other side, like, hey, what else?
Yeah.
Maybe it works, but
Also, how much more ease can it create for you, especially when you say you're actually marrying a whole family? How much more ease can it create for you dealing with all of the family part? Even probably if you're looking to get married or have a date for your marriage, and everyone who's like, oh my God, you have to do it this way, you have to do it that way, you have to wear this, you have to wear that. Like, how much fun can you actually have with it? And yeah,
there's one more thing that just pops for me. Years ago, when I used to live in Istanbul, a very good male friend of mine, we were not partners, we were not in a love relationship. We traveled more to the Anatolian side and, wanted to see all the beauty of that part of Turkey. And there were hotels they didn't allow us to share a room
oh,
because we were not married.
mhm.
So even that
Wow.
is still a thing in some countries. You
Mm.
cannot stay in the same hotel room. Like,
Wow. Yeah.
yeah, and wow, it's just the more we talk, the more I get awareness is also like what else is
Mm.
possible. And then since receiving from man is also a big topic for a lot of the Arabics
Yeah.
parts of the world,
Yeah.
it's a totally different concept there. I
Totally.
even, when I grew up in Germany, I'm born in Germany, I raised in Germany, and I had, I knew young girls who were 17, 18 years old
Mm.
who said to me, back in the days, Turkish, who said to me, uh, Fatma, and now I'm looking for someone to get married to. And I was like, why would you do that? And they were like, yeah, but my parents are not as cool as yours. So
Mm.
to get out of my family,
Yeah.
have to get married to a guy, and even if a year later I get a divorce, I can be me finally and live my
Yeah.
life. And I remember that made me so sad that I'm being forced into something just to be free of the prison of my family.
Yeah. That's full on. Like, also, getting children without a marriage, like being the bastards when you look way back into history, when you weren't married and you would receive a child. And it's like all these different religious points of
Oh
views
yeah.
and regulations. It's like, woo, wow. I mean, woo, yeah,
Yeah, and what is still until today, I see
yeah,
it's my job as a wife in the
yeah,
marriage.
yeah, yeah.
Will I just be wife and housewife and mother?
Wow.
Is that still being expected from me
Mhm. Yeah.
or something else? So, as you see,
Yeah.
there's like tons tons to talk about, tons of things, points of views to look at, and I
Yeah.
just would like to open the space to, yeah, be clear for you to invite you
Yeah.
into more clarity. You don't have to get married to, but all of us in one lifetime or another have been married.
Mhm.
How many of that stuff are you still carrying with you?
Yeah.
That's a biggie for me. Yeah, and let's bring in more ease and more joy
Yeah.
again and just choice.
Yeah. Totally.
So
Awesome.
our call starts.
Fatma's call starts tomorrow. Yeah, on the 8th of April. Evening time, Central European time, so 7:30. And you can find everything on Fatma's website, all the infos. And it will be weekly over 5 weeks, every Tuesday. So it's not going to be 5 evenings in a row. It will be each week. So, things can come up. You can breathe
You
in
can breathe, that's my
between.
thing. Let's breathe.
So, yeah, wow. What can you actually create with this topic? Yeah.
Thank you, Eva, for
Thank you.
looking into this with me and what's possible now. And
Yeah.
if you guys have any questions, just reach out. We
Yeah.
start tomorrow, and what else is possible that we have not even considered yet?
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.